see. We got all our shit, so we need the link, which is over here. Let's see, Patreon somewhere, right? Let's see. The left-hand side, hit the post.
Yeah.
Live stream, right?
Yeah. It's on that page.
There it is, over there. YouTube, right?
Yeah.
YouTube live. Let's see. YouTube link. Wow. Alright, so right, like there's a title. So 6/6 live stream 6/6/18.
The title is where it says post title.
Man. Got me again. Yeah. You just want to name it the date?
Yeah. Just live stream and then the date. I love that goddamn filter now. Did you know the guy that drove that tank?
What?
You know the guy that got in that tank chase?
Killdozer?
Yeah. No, the new one. Yesterday.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Oh. He was in a tank chase with a low-speed chase with the cops in a tank, and he was like a lefty Twitter guy. He followed Felix.
What?
Yeah, he was an old troop that was like a leftist Twitter guy.
That just wanted to cause trouble?
He wanted to drive a fucking tank, I guess.
That's amazing.
I wish he was a fan of us.
$5 or more for me.
Yeah, but he wasn't even following Will. That's how I found out he was following Felix, because Will posted he was following Felix, but not me. And I was like, oh, that sucks. And then somebody was like, they were like, well, they're going to tear all the podcast apart. And somebody was like, what about Brett and Brian? And Felix said, they're unbreakable. I said, we spend Christmas together. You can't fuck with us.
Yeah.
When we get together, we have nothing but fun. I'm going to use this as a trash can. Almost. I'm going to just throw my cans in it. But I don't want to, like... I guess it's better than throwing them on the ground, but it's not actually good, because at some point you have to get them all out.
Eventually, you got to be fished
yeah.
out. I got to clean this. I got to finish. I just have no time.
I mean, I can come over here during the day sometime and fucks with it. Wait till it rains. Get me over here.
I need to fix up some bikes, too. Get these motherfuckers.
Have you ridden a bike?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
One road today.
Picked up the car from Erica one day. I was trying to get Charlotte to ride today, but she wasn't into it.
It sucked, man. I was trying to get Glenn to fucking walk with me some today. And she was like, I want to walk with you, but I don't want to walk from 1:30 to 5:30. And I was like, what if I come back by and pick you up? And she was like, no. And I said, okay, well, you don't want to walk with me then.
So we're down to publish now, like we're like ready to go.
Yeah.
Live. We good?
Yeah.
We will be right, bitch.
What's happening?
I'm finna go hit this 12-hour shift, man, but real talk, man, everybody wanna say fuck the police, man. Say, fuck you. Shit, every time Pookie Earl hit the goddamn wet stick and he come in the house tripping on the go upside your head, you wanna call me. Don't have the audacity to say fuck me. No, fuck you, man, shit. I ain't got time to be fighting his naked ass. Shit, hit his ass with the taser, that shit don't work. Try to square up with the motherfucker, that shit don't work. I'm like, man, I ain't say, you got it, bro. You got it, I ain't even finna fight with you, man. Say, man, it's tough out here, though, man, but say, I can't do this shit forever. They gonna kill me out here, man. Y'all like, comment, share my videos, man. Let me get viral so I can put this 2-week notice in. Shit, free Kodak Black.
What an asshole.
This motherfucker got a GoFundMe already called They Fired My Ass.
I believe that.
He said free Kodak Black.
I know.
Only a cop would want a free Kodak Black. Nobody's screaming free Kodak Black. You know what I mean?
Hey, everybody. Sorry. Thanks for coming in here. We are waiting to get this all set up. I need to turn the volume off.
I'm gonna take this big hunk and fucking...
All right. There we go. They're going to go smoke a cigarette, and we're going to wait so people can get in here. Thank you, early birds. You get the worm. You get to watch me drink a hard seltzer water. It's a hint of grapefruit and pomelo this week. It's pretty good. It's better than the White Claw. For all you people that like to get fucked up and are also on a diet. It really blows. I'd like to be able to play a song right now, but we can't because YouTube is scanning everything, and if they hear a song, they'll take it down, which is obnoxious as fuck. I purchased some vegan, organic, hemp, GMO-free, tobacco-free herbal wraps from the Netherlands. They have CBD in them too. This is mango. I had the grape, which was all right. Pretty good. Oh, the weed I have is Dutch Treat as well, so that's a good matchup, I think. I hope is everybody having a good night so far? Was your day shitty? Yeah, go Cavs. You know how to win people over. I'm doing the most budget ass bullshit blunt right now. I'm taking a full size blunt wrap and cutting it down so that it fits in my joint roller because I'm cheap and I cannot really smoke that much weed in one go. It just hurts my fucking heart to watch that much go. At once. I mean, I love it when other people do it, but when it's mine, I don't get any coupons on my weed. Although I do, yeah, whatever. I get credits in my own ways. Arg. This feels real, like, crowded. We're going to have to switch this shit up. What do you think? We got new red chairs, red and black chairs for Insurrection. And we also got things in the works to get Twitch going soon. We're actually going to do a stream of that movie Pump Up the Volume. Your levels are kind of low, so I have you turned up. You aren't going to suddenly get all loud on me and blow my... Oh, okay. We might get loud. When Jason gets back here, I'm going to say something to him. Maybe I need to project my voice more. I'm in like low-key solo dolo. It feels weird. There's not many occasions in life prepare you for sitting all by yourself in complete silence while two gigantic lights beam down on you and people listen to what you're saying. Best way to cook cremini mushrooms before we watch Pump Up the Volume. I always like to do mushrooms in like a hash with like sweet potato. That's like my staple food. Oh, Mikey Stowe, you're such a great guy. Amazing. Thank you for the compliments. I appreciate it, for the affirmations here. Everybody high as hell on something? Dutch treat is what this is called. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm kind of mean. I feel like I'm the mean one, and I don't do the online stuff as much anymore, so I kind of feel like a grumpy old man sometimes. Drink. What about the mushrooms? Cut them up and put them in hash, man. Throw a fucking egg on top. Or some tofu scramble if you don't fuck with eggs. Mushrooms also, man, I mean, deep fried mushrooms, it's like a healthy thing that's fucked up to eat. Like, it's ranch dressing, but it also has like a lot of different enzymes and proteins in there. You don't think of me as mean. Okay, you don't know me. No, I'm not that mean. Honestly, I think I've just, this year's been a tough year for me for some reason. It's like as soon as you get everything that you want, you fucking regret it. And it's not that I have any complaints. It's just, waking up and doing this stuff every single day. I feel like I have a lot riding on my shoulders, the more people that listen. And I have just had a fucking really terrible attitude. And I felt more argumentative than usual. But I'm just bored. I don't know. I just get bored of like saying the same shit over and over again because I've been saying it for so long. I've been saying like, take care of everybody and don't be a bigot and stuff, that I just have to try something else out. That's what I liked about that bonus show with Chris, or MRT, when he talked about being in a class full of Marxists, and so he just wanted to argue neoliberalism because it was fucking boring to sit around. And I like that. I don't know. And then sometimes people think I'm more serious, or they just take me at face value, not realizing that I'm just sometimes saying shit to say it. And usually I'm teeing up Brian. Like, I just let Brian say whatever his shit is, or I like to challenge him, because the one thing I do like about Brian is he always has an answer for everything. And if not, he'll work it out with you on the spot. Like, he does not give up when it comes to getting his point across. You had sweet potatoes and black beans tonight. Okay, good idea. I had, one of my favorite, this is my favorite get downs, is cornbread and pinto beans. And then we do Brussels sprouts with them. I fucking love them. Everything looks good. They said that the levels weren't as loud on me. They couldn't. Yeah, they couldn't hear me as much.
Try it again.
All right. Hey, turd birds that are in the room. Can you hear me? I'm really curious to see if you guys use the cartridges for vaping or if you're all more DIY. I mean, my whole 34th year on this planet has been trying to give up smoking weed, but there was nothing fucking better than smoking weed. Like, it just makes you bonkers. They said it sounds better. I need to feel bonkers, and I know dabs do that too, and some edibles, but I need to figure out how to do it right. I like the vape cartridges more for like going in public or like if I'm gonna be at an all-day festival or some shit like that, you know, and you don't want to get bothered. Like, that was real easy to take into ACL. Bry Guy's back. Give the people what they want.
I need that password.
The Humpty Hump?
You can type it in.
I need to get a drink.
I'll talk to these motherfuckers.
I made a batch of Brian's Nutella and it's taken a few lives.
Will you want to do this after?
What?
The tincture?
Yeah, but some person wrote in to say it's actually called a glycerite.
Okay.
It's technically not a tincture. We've been using the wrong terminology. This person was fucking mad about it.
I use a tincture. I like tincture myself.
That's what I said too. I said it just makes sense. People know what that is. People know what a tincture is.
It's tincture. Can you send me the link, Jason, for the chat room? Yes. He makes the bed and she steals the covers. I like it neat and he makes a mess. I take it easy, baby. I get upset. When we get together, we have nothing but fun. And I'll take a couple steps forward and a couple steps back. I'm getting in the chat room in a minute. I'm trying to get it all up. Get it up. Get her done. He makes a mess. Down to one LaCroix. Down to one LaCroix right now. Should have bought three. Should have brought three. All right, folks. I'm in here. I'm waiting for the chat to load. Get that gumball. Go capture gumball. Brett's going to go get gumball. I don't like mushrooms at all, Jason. Not you. The other Jason. I like the mushrooms that get you fucked up, of course. But not with teriyaki and jalapenos. No. Yeah, my Nutella will fucking kill your ass, man. It's not a joke. My wife sold some for $25. It bothered the shit out of me. Like, that shit's worth $50 at least. What vegetation do I like, Chud? Well, I like them all, really, except for mushrooms. I like Brussels sprouts. I like salads, like all the stuff you'd put in a salad. I eat anything that comes from the ground. You know what I mean?
Here's Bumble Rooski.
That's fucking cats down here now.
She's really pissed.
Fucking gumball. Always mad. She's such a malcontent, I would call her.
Can you give me a good shot, Jason?
It's a good shot.
Oh, fucking cat. Doesn't even like to be on TV, man.
Yeah.
Like, this cat is not for us. Gumball is an idiot.
Gumball. Give him the razzle dazzle.
Yeah, come on, do some shit. Do your annoying shit, you dumb fucking cat.
I get kind of afraid. I feel like she's going to get me in the eye.
Oh my god, if she scratches you. That would be my thing. And then you get cat scratch fever. See you later, you fucking shithead. She's gonna go take off and get in shit. That video of you. Yeah, cut that out, man. You playing air guitar with the cat. I like it. God, that cat. A meow content is right. Thank you, Jimmy. Oh, man. You ready to get going, man? You ready to do some fucking radio? Look at this magazine I got, y'all. It's called Police, the law enforcement magazine. I like it.
You like it?
Got a lot of information in it about Antifa. So,
1 second, I gotta re-up.
yeah, I should probably get high. Fucking God, that cat, man. It just ran out of here.
Yeah, I bugged. I mean, that was kind of rude. She was laying upstairs.
Oh, fuck her.
Okay. Yeah, she gets a free ride around here. She's got to earn her keep.
Yeah. Yes.
What is the fridge is going on?
She's like a regulator. Gotta earn your keep. Ain't no fucking...
Cat. Oh, man. Cat, Bobat. Get out of here. Come on, scat. Scat all over.
Of course the cat's fucking around in the kratom. Of course. Why wouldn't a cat fuck
Cats
around
do
in a
like
kratom?
I have found out that cats are interested in kratom. They're herbalists.
It's like catnip, but it's better. Gumball doesn't do shit, Chud. Chud Fucksworth in there asking, does Gumball do anything? No. Gumball doesn't do anything except for, like, run away, make babies cry, scratch people, climb in my brother's backpack, you know, just all the stuff that an annoying cat does. Let's not get the cat high. It'd probably be annoying as shit. Brett's over here smoking a blunt anyway. I'm sure anything in this room is going to get high. He's been smoking these great blunt wraps.
Yeah.
Like they're fucking incense.
They're vegan, non-GMO wraps.
They are. He's using vegan, non-GMO blunt wraps.
All right. They have a little bit of CBD in them, too.
And CBD. With a little bit of CBD. Just a teeny little bit.
Skosh of
A skosh of TNT.
TBD.
A TNT. Just a skosh of TNT.
All right. I'm
With
ready.
TNT. With dynamite. TNT. And I will not fight.
TNT.
I hope this doesn't get us taken off.
Power load. Yeah, I mean, we sound too close.
Watch me explode. Yeah. That was like Eddie Vedder if he sang TNT.
Yeah, I love that cover.
Yeah. Eddie Vedder. Dude. That's a guy. Right?
I'm just waiting for the word. You got do you have Audacity going?
Yeah.
You do.
Let's fucking do a podcast, dude. Oh, wait. I got to start my timer. We don't want to give too much extra. It's like, it doesn't really matter. I just need to know when we get to the point that we should be wrapping up, you know?
Yeah. I just remembered I need to buy soundproofings. They sell it for pretty cheap. You can get the panels.
Get them egg cartons, dude. Just
No, we're not doing... No, we're better than that.
get them egg cartons.
We're not a SoundCloud rapper.
Kind of. We're close.
Yeah.
We don't make as much money as a
That's
SoundCloud.
true. That's true.
we
We don't have as nice of cars as SoundCloud rappers.
I don't have different colored grill.
Yeah.
That one dude with that different colored grill is just great.
I have no red bottoms.
Yeah. I don't even know what they are. That's a problem with me.
All right.
I got to sit up probably a little bit. Get this mic out of my grill. All right. I'm ready when you are. You can...
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Street Fight Radio. We're glad you're here. It's the #1 anarcho-comedy radio show on any station across the nation. We do it the best. We do it on WCRS here in Columbus, Ohio. You can hear us on 102.1 or 98.3 if you're inside 270 here. We are live every single Sunday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are taking your calls. The number is 614-412-5252. That last show you just heard was a call-in show. You got to hear from Sam Knight about tipping. We got to hear about other stuff that I've already forgotten. And now we've come to do the basement show. Brian and I started out Street Fight Radio by yelling at each other's faces in front of a microphone. Back then, our microphone stands were just an old Adidas shoe box. We now have $12 dollar store, Dollar General boom mics. But we got brand new chairs that we're sitting in. So we've come quite a bit of ways. And we are glad that you are all here to support us along this journey as we continue to spread this mess across the U.S. We're trying to just get rid of the United States government and all of the other governments in the world so that the working people that really do shit can take a break and enjoy some of the Ferraris and beachfront vacation homes. That simple, folks. Also, free healthcare for everybody.
Well, that is one of our big Patreon goals, $1 million a month.
Yeah.
We could probably figure out how to get paid.
Yeah,
like,
we could
at
do
least
that.
Get a lot of people.
I'll pay for I'll pay for the people in the chat. I'll pay for your doctor.
Premium Patreon tier will be
Health
insurance. Health insurance Patreon tier someday. Watch for it.
See, but here's the thing: is that the modern health insurance is just sick care. They just give you medicine to make you sick. We are going to provide you with supplements like CBD and kratom that will help fight disease in the future.
Brett even get you some of his Trulia or whatever it's called. His stupid spiked and sparkling water he's drinking.
This is 100% pure natural alcohol that came from a tree, and it's because it's beach season. Okay, I'm sorry.
It is. Hey man, if I drank, that's probably what I'd be drinking. You know me, I'm drinking a non-alcoholic version right now.
One of my favorite things ever was recent memories when we went to the WWE pay-per-view. We got invited by 16-Bit Barcade. Shout out to them. They have all of your gaming needs. If you are an adult person that has to play some Donkey Kong, you gotta get to 16-bit.
They got Mortal Kombat 3 there, too. If you're ever in town and you want to challenge me at Mortal Kombat 3, that's the place to do it because it's free.
Absolutely. And they invited 24 25 and younger people to go sit at this VIP box suite in this bar. All of the booze was gone by the end of the night except for these hard seltzer waters.
Yeah.
So that's when I strike.
Yeah, you got yourself a bunch of hard seltzers. And pizza, they had bad pizza too, didn't they? Like that was a problem. But you're you're eating Papa John's in this luxury suite. And you're
that's not luxury,
fuck, dude. Get a square pizza in here, man. Get something.
Call
even the cheapest guy. Yeah, come on, man. Is that what these people in these luxury boxes are doing? These people in these luxury boxes are eating fucking Papa John's? What's that about?
Well, they get the garlic butter, so that makes it more luxurious. It makes them think of gold.
I'll tell you the truth, man. I was kind of amped about Papa John's because I'll never order it for myself, but it's not. I'll eat it. I mean, I hate Papa John. Everybody knows that we're vehemently anti-Papa John Schnatter. We hate him. I hate Peyton Manning for multiple reasons, but also because he's friends with Papa John.
Yeah, just because he runs in his circle.
Just if you hang out with Papa John, I'm fucking against you, you know?
Yeah, we're trying to block your shine.
Yeah. So, we did a gig on Monday with the Kilgore Comics folks that came in through town, came into Columbus from, I think, Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Someone's even from fucking Seattle. It was like, all the way from Seattle? What? But they came through and they did a reading. Brett and I kind of hosted it. We did what we could. You know, Brett is a good interviewer, but I probably felt like I had to talk at some point, and I'm a bad interviewer, as all of the people who've listened to all of the bonus content on this channel would know. And that was it was fun though. But our buddy Justin Davison, Tree of Woe on Twitter brought me a magazine, and it's called Police, the law enforcement magazine.
Oh, wait, this is like something you, if you're an officer, you get this like sent to your house?
It's probably like the police union probably sends this thing out to all the cops, is what I would think, you know?
Right.
And we all know the police union is so evil. I mean, that's like top level. When we say fuck the police, the union is
Especially the union.
main thing that we're saying fuck them. Like, that's not a real union. That's a bad union. It's the bad kind, right?
Yeah. No, we don't want them doing that. They when they unionize, they do what we wish we could do, which is take care of their
own. So what I did was I went through here. There was one article that I actually haven't gone through it. There was one article that I zeroed in on and read while we were setting the show up. And I said, we got to fucking read about this on the show, Brett. You know?
Yeah, I want to know what the police are being told.
Antifa.
I want to know what they're reading when they're on the shitter.
Well, let's talk no shit. They're not like sitting in their living room and reading this. You know, it's not like when I sit and read and I get my pipe out and sit at a chair and like, you know.
No, they're just looking at the walkie-talkie ads.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's basically what I'm into is the walkie-talkie ads. This was written by Corey Flowers, who is an 18-year sergeant with the Greensboro Police Department, who has extensive investigation and undercover experience tracking criminal subversive groups. There's like not a ton of those.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, from the TV show?
Yeah.
Like he's watched a lot of shows about them?
This includes anarchists. That's us. White supremacists. That's our enemy. And sovereign citizens. It's like kind of like a middle level.
Me.
Yeah.
That's what I want to be.
They're like, sovereign citizens.
But they are wily.
We need leftist sovereign citizens is what we need.
True.
Like Brett is a perfect sovereign citizen because he is not racist and he's not sexist and he doesn't care about the Constitution. He isn't going to tell you stories about like the Sons of Liberty. Like none of that is going to come out of him. You know, he doesn't follow maritime law. He is against maritime law also.
Sure.
So
I challenge all of that.
He's not super he's a good kind of sovereign citizen. I think that's the kind of guy we're going to cover, right? So he writes about extremist groups, which I don't really know. And he's written articles and conducted interviews and podcasts for publications including Police Magazine, the LA Times, Newsweek, and the Southern Poverty Law Center and National Public Radio. This motherfucker is writing about this.
Gets around.
For the SPLC. Sometimes the SPLC gets me a little nervous, man. I don't know.
Really?
I just sometimes, like, I've heard leftists, like, critiques of it, and I'm always like, yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with it. But again, like, it is probably nice to have a group of people figuring out who all the hate groups are.
It's useful information,
yeah,
to say the least.
The article we're going to cover on this show, it's probably going to be the whole damn show, I'd imagine, is called Antifa, Inside the Antifa Movement. The anti-fascist movement sounds like it only targets white supremacy hate groups like the Klan and neo-Nazis. But this anarchist group has and will attack law enforcement officers and people with opposing political ideologies. Now, they didn't need to do that whole description because law enforcement officers and people with opposing political ideologies to anti-racism are the same as people in the Klan and neo-Nazis.
True.
You know, there's like not a huge fucking difference between them. So this is Corey Flowers wrote this article. Let's fucking get right into it. Antifa, anarchists, alt-left rioters, black bloc. Alt-left is such a made-up thing. I can't believe that worked. You know who fucking made up alt-left? Democrats. They're the motherfuckers that put us with the alt-right. Like,
yeah,
that fucking sucks, man.
That's us.
I mean, even Bernie Sanders supporters are considered alt-left, and it's like, they're like, what do they do that's so fucking evil? You know, they're not like out fighting in the streets. You know, they're mostly just telling you not to eat GMOs.
Or tell you, you know, the evils of banking.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing.
Right.
That they do. You know. I just noticed that there's like overlap between
What?
like libertarians and Bernie people. There's this sort of overlap into that like real pharmacy, FARMACY movement that like talks about like eating things like
Turmeric.
yeah, eating turmeric or like drinking silver. Like there's like a overlap there.
Right.
Like I'm always trying to look for things that like people have in common to draw people closer together.
But
And if I was to sit down a libertarian, a Bernie person, and a sovereign citizen, I'd be like, y'all like all those supplements and stuff like that. Like you'll eat any mineral
Right,
that you can
sure.
get your hand on.
sure, you're all stacking right now. What's everybody stacking?
Why don't you guys all sit down and talk about the evils of factory farmed food?
Yeah, that's a lot of common ground there. But the alt left is there's none of like we don't do terrorist attacks or anything like that. And there's no I don't know. There's no
We haven't killed anybody.
Yeah.
I don't know who have we killed in the past. Like the people that have done all the killing since this election have all been conservatives. All of them. You find out later on, they're like, oh, nobody will have sex with them, so they killed people.
Right.
Or like they love Donald Trump, so they wanted to start the race war and shit. Like that's who has done all the fucking killing.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat said drinking silver will turn your skin blue. That's exactly why I brought it up, because I've been thinking about drinking silver.
That would be sick.
I know.
Now that we do the video portion, the blue skin would be like a way to stand out.
It's sort of like a tattoo in a way.
Yeah, it is.
You like, I'm trying to modify my body. I want to be blue. It's like that guy that wants to be a puzzle. The guy that has a puzzle all over
Sure.
his body and he
Yeah.
fills it in every time he goes somewhere. That guy's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, that's a great way to use your skin.
Why not? It's like Brett said. Street Fight's probably not successful if Brett doesn't get a neck tattoo. he threw all of his eggs in this basket as soon as he put something on his neck.
That's true. I backed myself into a corner.
Yeah. Regardless of their preferred name, these radical groups have recently catapulted into the national spotlight as opportunistic purveyors of violence and destruction, often utilizing high visibility events such as the speaking engagements of conservative authors at the University of California at Berkeley in February to riot and inflict physical violence and cause thousands of dollars of property damage, utilizing their signature mob chaos and havoc-laden tactics.
They just only scratch the surface. They just are too afraid to understand the other person. Like that was one of the things that got me kicked out of my parents' house at an early age, was just to be like, well, if Ronald Reagan had like sent a whole bunch of money to my country and then turned it into a horrible place, I'd also bomb America.
Yeah.
You know? Like when I learned the like history of Al Qaeda and all that stuff, like that really like gave me a bigger picture of what the fuck was going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, the only times that people got shut down violently was when they were willing to call ICE on. Milo got shut down because he said he was going to call ICE on people.
Yes, he was
That's
going
why.
to.
That's why.
Yeah, and that is, I mean, look what ICE is doing.
Right. I mean, I just saw a story that a pizza delivery guy was delivering a pizza at a base in Brooklyn and got caught up with ICE. He delivered pizzas there a dozen times before. He had an ID, but when he showed up, they ran his information and then held him in captive and called ICE on him.
They ordered a pizza?
Yeah, they ordered a pizza.
ICE ordered a pizza?
No, the Army ordered a pizza.
Oh God, they're just
That's what they're doing. All they do is make paper airplanes and eat Pizza Hut and the Army. That's what makes it so fun.
I guess that's why people sign up. So
Chair
they can,
Force.
Yeah. So from the American political party conventions held every 4 years and the G8 summit staged across the globe to many lesser-known regional protests, such as those now roiling over the removal of Confederate monuments, a common and generally violent attendee often rears its ugly head. Antifa, as it's now widely known,
Dun, dun, dun.
is predictable in its tactics and responses. Law enforcement agencies must be informed about the group and its tactics so they can be prepared to competently execute mass civil unrest strategies to prevent the loss of innocent lives. Again, nobody's been fucking killed.
No.
That's the thing. Find me the loss of innocent life in an First of all, in an Antifa fight, if Antifa's fighting, they are punching a Nazi, a person that is fucking saying Nazi things, right? Like standing in public and saying Nazi things, probably a lot of time packing a weapon, threatening to call ICE on people, they have the police on their side, or they're fighting the police. The police have fucking guns. Like,
right.
It's a person in jeans with a bandana around their neck.
I mean, we were there for some of the J20 demonstrations, and it was broken fucking windows.
Nobody was hurt.
There was no attacking the cops. I mean, the cops were shooting people with fucking grenades and were beating on shields with, like, batons. No one was really trying to get mixed up with them that hardcore.
The cops look like the motherfucking, excuse me for saying this, stormtroopers from Star Wars. And I'm asking you to excuse me for making a science fiction reference.
Yeah.
But they do. They're like super dressed up in scary clothes. They all have guns. Not only do they have guns, but they have like 15 weapons on their fucking belt. You know?
They have all those pockets. They have pockets just filled with stuff that can hurt you. You know?
Yeah. And of course, innocent lives is the first thing they're worried about. But the second, more important thing that they're worried about is the large-scale destruction of property, which is another thing that I would argue against. I would argue that it is not a large-scale destruction of property.
No.
A large-scale destruction of property is what the American military does in other countries. That
Absolutely.
is a large scale. That's large scale.
Yeah, that's big. That's like city blocks that are taken out.
Busting out a bank window is not
I mean,
large
that's-
scale. It's
That
one
literally
thing.
is, yeah, it's 45 minutes of paperwork and probably a check for $2,100 or something stupid.
Right. And yes, that is, and it's coming from a bank. They're robbing us every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Like our whole life is
Get
being,
down. Come on, man.
Yeah.
They earned it. They fucked us out of all of our money.
While Antifa is generally recognized by its trademark all-black clothing and mob stratagem, I don't even know what that means. Stratagem. Police are often otherwise unfamiliar with this. Oh, here we go. I want to read this sentence. This was the sentence that made me do this on the show. I'm going to start this sentence from the beginning so everybody can hear it. While Antifa is generally recognized by its trademark all-black clothing and mob stratagem, police are often otherwise unfamiliar with this parasitic and calamitous criminal subculture.
I like that. Can we get that on a shirt? Parasitic and calamitous subculture.
I don't know what's parasitic about it. We're generally the reason that other people show up to the events.
Well, what are we doing? We're subsisting on other people's outrage against racism. Like we'll beat up racists. We don't just complain about it.
Yeah.
What
We
is
don't
it?
like do a pray-in for
Yeah,
racists.
yeah.
We beat them up.
We don't try to vote against racism.
In order for law enforcement officers to effectively, safely interact with and competently prosecute anarchists such as Antifa, a more in-depth examination is helpful.
Oh, fine. I need one for sure.
We're going to get so the next header is a short destructive history. This is really crazy.
I want to know what their white supremacy thing is, though.
There's fucking
none.
Okay.
We gotta find the other magazine.
Police magazine. If anybody can get their hands on Police,
We need the microfiche.
We love to read their giant history of white supremacy in the United States. Antifa, an abbreviated acronym for anti-fascist, has emerged in the United States in the last decade, particularly fueled by the widening divide between political ideologies, as both left-wing and right-wing political stances have become increasingly entrenched and from some perspectives extreme in recent years. Antifa has become the militant, destructive muscle of the severe militant far left wing.
Hell yeah, baby.
They make it seem so badass to
We
me.
shut him down. Shut him down every single time. Those fucking fools look so bad.
Yeah, they always look bad. They always end up looking really dumb.
I mean, Richard Spencer himself was like, we can't fucking do anything. Antifa shuts us down.
they ruin it. They ruin our hate
They're
rallies.
too good at anti-fascism. We're trying to do fascist shit here.
Yeah. Viewing the current presidential administration as fascist and dictatorial, Antifa members often see themselves as righteous revolutionaries and freedom fighters, and therefore self-justify the use of violence, rioting, and destruction of property to dismantle the evil status quo. This is right.
yeah. This guy did his homework on some shit. We definitely.
That's evil to him, though. It's like, this president's a dictator, and he's a fascist, and these people are just, like, out there doing stuff against him.
Well, the motherfucking pig man in blue also feels completely righteous standing in front of a racist so that no one can punch him in the fucking mouth. So they learn their lesson and go home.
The pig man in blue. It's
Yeah.
like, that should be a song by, like, Jim Croce. It would be a good, like, folk song. Oh, the pig man in blue, he comes through the town and defends the racist clowns. That was just
No, it was good. No, it was a great ditty.
Somebody put music behind that for me.
Yeah.
Unlike legitimate, peaceful, nonviolent forms of protest, Antifa advocates direct action, that's in quotes, which employs volatile clashes with their opponents, the police, or any other perceived threat, obstacle, or enemy. That's actually not true. Because liberals are an enormous obstacle to organizing against fascism.
Right.
And we don't beat them up.
We should, but we don't.
We're not whooping their asses. That's kind of
No, I mean, it's like I said, there's a lot of restraint here. They're missing the restraint because there's plenty of reasons to go on a whooping spree.
it is. There's been a lot of them. Yeah.
Right.
This fucking people like that lawyer in the
Yes.
in that one place that
Yes.
ruined his life by threatening to call ICE on somebody. Like that's not a rare thing now. People are calling ICE on people. David Hogg got swatted
Oh, really?
recently by alt-right guys.
Okay.
So like it's
Yeah.
just when you swat somebody, I'm not like David Hogg isn't like that whatever to me, but when you swat somebody, you really are putting their life at risk. Every
for
single
sure.
time you swat somebody, you put their life at risk.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, man. I watched Brian when we were coming back from North Carolina and Brian got pulled over by the police and he pulled in over on the left-hand side of the road. I had no idea why the fuck you did that, but if you got swatted, I would worry about you doing something weird and getting shot.
Yeah. I mean, it's scary. It's scary to think about people swatting,
Oh yeah.
like, and like that these police are now like a tool of chaos and murder that they accuse everybody else of, because they're gonna break your fucking door and they're gonna come in, and if you put your hand in your pocket, they're gonna fill you with bullets.
Yeah.
You know, and they're gonna throw a fucking flashbang at your kid, and they're gonna fucking scream at your wife and go through all your shit. You know.
Right.
During the 2016 presidential election cycle, Antifa members clashed violently with white nationalists and right-wing factions nationwide along the Trump campaign trail.
Right.
It's like,
I mean,
right.
that's
sure,
mostly
yeah.
what it is. Yeah.
That's actually a true sentence. It's not negative, though. That's a positive. It's like if you told almost anybody that, like, hey, there's white nationalists, they're out here doing stuff, and then these people are going and beating them up, they'd be like, oh, okay, that's fine.
I mean, it's almost like if fascists are demonstrating, anti-fascists show up. I mean, that's the correlation there, Mr. Pig in a blue suit.
Yeah, Miss Pig in a blue suit. That's a book. That's actually a crime novel that you're going to write.
Pig in blue?
Yeah. It's about an Antifa person discovering a cop is dirty and getting him thrown in jail.
Okay.
Pig in a blue suit is what it's called.
Yeah,
Babe, the pig in the blue suit.
And it will just open up like I was the man in black, the black block.
Yeah, in February, in February, Milo Yiannopoulos, a confrontational and controversial alt-right national speaker and author, was scheduled to speak at UC Berkeley. Prior to the start of the event, of the event, Antifa groups stormed the campus building where the speech was to be held and violently engaged police forces, set fires, launched incendiary devices towards officers.
No, Roman candles.
Yeah, it was
Roman
candles?
candles,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's whatever. That they had to say incendiary devices because we used to, like, me and my dumbass friends used to shoot Roman candles at each other.
If you said to the general public they shot Roman candles at us, you'd be like, well, did you move out of the way in time? Or?
Yeah. Were any of them ever 13-year-old boys?
Yeah.
Like,
Were they bouncing them off the ground, or was it malicious?
yeah. Lucky they didn't shoot bottle rockets at
Yeah.
them, which is also a thing we used to shoot at each other.
Dude, the game we used to play was take bottle rockets. We would take the stick off of it and then all stand around it and light it up because we had no idea where it would fucking go.
Yeah, that sounds fun. We used to put full cans and bullets in a fire and then run away from it and hide up in trees while they blew up. We were convinced the bullet was going to kill one of us.
Sure.
So we went and hid up in the trees because bullets can't climb trees or something. I don't fucking remember, but I remember being like, let's throw some bullets in that fucking fire, dude. That'll make a noise. So, yeah, they accused us of throwing dynamite at them when it was probably like those poppers that you just throw on the ground
Yeah.
and they make a loud noise and they scare like 4-year-olds.
They lit a bunch of black snakes and threw them on the ground, and we couldn't stand there.
He claims here that numerous injuries and 10 arrests resulted from Antifa clashes with police. The injuries were probably mostly to Antifa, and they were done by a police hitting them with a stick. That's when they say injuries, they are not fucking talking about the police. When they say injuries, they're probably talking about people who went there to fight and knew that there was a chance they could get an injury. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, they're saying injuries, they're saying the number of injuries in this piece so that they can say, like, they're saying the number of injuries in this piece so that it sounds like Antifa went in and beat up like a Barack Obama voter or some old Trump guy on a fucking rascal scooter, like tipped him over and kicked the shit out of him. That is not, when they say injuries, it's injuries by the police.
Oh yeah, that's what I want to do. That's the people doing the injuries out there.
Yeah. Local police confiscated improvised weapons from the rioters, including baseball bats, bricks, metal pipes, wooden boards, and knives. Hey, if you're going to fight.
Yeah. That's just protection. I mean, if you're allowed to carry a fucking gun, why couldn't you carry something like that?
No shit. They let these fucking 3%ers show up with guns slung around them. I can't carry a board with a nail in it?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's just a cricket bat with a bunch of rusty nails sticking out of it.
It's those little bats you get at the baseball
Yeah,
games.
the mini Louisville Slugger.
Yeah, those are made to like beat. Those and the really short aluminum baseball bats fucking rule.
Oh my god, dude! Just like 6 inches of pipe, like really heavy pipe, where you're just like, God, if that caught me on the side of my head, you'd be donezo.
The bat helps because you put a baseball glove in your car and you apparently can't get in any trouble.
Sure.
That's what they say. They say if you're going to carry a bat in your car, put a baseball glove and a baseball in there, and they're like, oh, he's playing baseball. Even me, fat me, would show up. Oh, yeah, he's fucking Babe Ruth over there. He was a big guy. He was a big, lazy guy that did drugs.
Yeah, I just... Why aren't you allowed to carry weapons on you for protection now? Is that not... It's not allowed? That's why I want to be sovereign and... Because I can't bring a brick to a protest.
I mean, let's just go through this. Baseball bats can also be baseball bats.
Sure.
Bricks can also... First of all, nobody in Antifa brings a brick to the protest.
That's a tough one.
Like, you
can't really hide that. You're just... It's heavy, too. It's like, most of those protests, you're just standing there, and there's like a line of police... And you're like 30 feet away, and if you throw a fucking brick, they're gonna know who did it. Yeah, and you don't want to carry a brick around.
Nobody wants a backpack full of bricks to go to the protest.
No, you want to be light.
Yeah, sometimes the police may not know this because they never have to run from anybody. But although recently I saw a motorcycle thing, this cop fucking knocked a motorcycle guy off of his motorcycle.
Did like a pit maneuver?
Right, yeah. He knocked, he was driving next to him. So what's happening is it's one of those fucking things where motorcycle guys drive around for the troops. Like, oh, it's a memorial ride. I'm driving around, and somehow this benefits the troops.
Yeah.
In some way.
I get $1 per mile.
Yeah, and so he's driving, this guy's speeding, and a cop is chasing him, gets next to him, because the guy's like, I'm getting away. I'm driving a fucking motorcycle. You can't get me on a motorcycle.
I got torque.
Yeah, I'm going to be okay. Cop fucking turns and knocks him off his bike. All the motherfucking people at this memorial ride caught up to where the cop was, where he was like pulling the guy off the bike and arresting him. And who, buddy, that cop got a little bit scared.
Did they whoop his ass?
No, they didn't. They scared the shit out of him, though. And here's the thing.
Whoop his ass.
It was a bunch of white people, so he didn't shoot anybody. And it was like they just surrounded him like, you fucking knocked him off his bike. You knocked him off his bike. That's against the law. You're not allowed to knock people off their bike. And they were like screaming at him. And then when they tried to arrest them, a few guys came in and kind of tried to de-arrest them. Something that Antifa knows how to do that apparently bikers don't know how to do.
Yeah.
And
come to the meetings.
He ended up getting a call for backup. They all request. I mean, these bikers all respect the police so much.
I know. He was like, give me all your guns. They're like, oh, God damn it. Here you go, Mr. Officer. Here's our illegal weapons.
The next weapon they bring up is metal pipes.
Yeah, great weapon.
I mean, and it's also like, what if I'm walking home? What if on my way to the protest, I had to get some shit for plumbing, and then like I didn't have time to run home, so I have this pipe that I was going to use to fix my plumbing at my house. Yeah, I have it with me, and then you're just going to come and grab me and say that this is a weapon? Like, that's not even fair. They haven't even they don't think about it, you know? Tire iron? It's like what if I have to go to the store and buy a tire iron and then I happen up on a protest on the way out the door? Are you going to arrest me for that? You know?
Yeah, I remember in Pikeville, there was a woman near us that was in like a complete Target athleisure outfit is what I'll say.
Okay.
Like just like, you know, cheap neon electric athleisure equipment. And she was like a 40-year-old mom lady, and she had this gigantic pipe just shoved down the back of her pants. Like, it was so obvious. You could just see it sticking out that there was if you got close to her and she didn't like what you had to say, she probably would break you open with that pipe.
Hey, that's part of saying racist stuff.
She probably was just needed a length of pipe and then heard there was Nazis nearby and wanted to go shout at them, and then just so happened, like you said, just had to tuck it into her pants, you know.
Yeah.
She was ready to fucking brawl. I was like, watch out for her, man. I feel like she would pull your eyeballs out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if there's Nazis there, you could end up in a fight. Like, they could fuck you up, you know, if you don't have something. Who knows? They all had guns. Wooden boards. I mean,
wooden boards, yeah.
That's nobody's bringing, unless like Hacksaw Jim Duggan is coming to the thing.
Oh!
He's usually on the America side of this thing. And knives, okay, knives. But dude, how come every redneck I know is allowed to carry a knife around, but then when a leftist has a knife, it's a big time weapon?
Jim Duggan's coming to the Clippers.
Oh,
game.
I know.
Okay, I'm trying to go.
I might be in that with you.
Okay.
Another political speech,
dude. But seriously, think about it though. Those classic street gangs, not the bullshit. We don't have any. We have cyberbullying now. We don't have those classic street gangs where some guy would just take a 2x4 and carry it over his shoulder and threaten to hit people with it. You know?
Yeah. You're allowed to fucking have. Why can't
you can wield a 2x4?
Well, somebody in the chat, Brandon in the chat, said melee weapons are more illegal than guns. It's okay to shoot somebody, but if you hit someone with a bat or a wrench, you catch more charges in most states, which is probably true. Because it's more violent. They see that as more violent than killing somebody, beating the crap out of somebody for having racist thoughts. I think that's fine.
it's a part of having doing racist shit.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, it's a part of it.
If I was
I mean,
racist, I'd be like,
it's a
oh.
struggle. It's a fucking struggle.
Yeah. If I was racist, I would expect to get my ass whooped all the time.
I would be on my toes. I would be worried. I couldn't imagine you would expect to be okay, be out there in the world.
Another political speech, this time by conservative author Ann Coulter, was canceled by authorities at UC Berkeley in mid-April following overt threats of violence and mayhem by Antifa groups. Now, that ain't Antifa's fault that you canceled the thing.
Yeah, you could have went through with it and see what happened. You could have do your free speech thing, right?
Yeah, I thought you was trying to do free speech.
Do free speech.
Well, now they're like, if somebody's protesting against this, I shan't show up. And it's like, listen to what you're fucking saying, Ann Coulter. You're evil. You have evil fucking ideas. For real evil. Your fucking families are being split up. And one kid in one detention center, one kid in another detention center, and their parents in another place. And you're advocating for that. You should probably be prepared for people to show up and not like you and be mad at you. That's all part of like the thing. That's all part of fascism. You see, like
part of being a punk.
They all say that, like, listen, I've been having this conversation a lot lately too. Is like, there are a lot of people that you get into political conversations with, people that might be more progressive, that consider themselves progressive, that like are kind of outright ignoring the ICE thing. And I'm not doing anything about it either. I don't know what to do, but I also know that not doing anything, which is what I'm doing, is like bad. Does that make sense to you? Like, that I don't know what to do, and I'm kind of paralyzed with inaction, and I don't know how to organize against this thing, but I know it's an evil thing that needs to be abolished, taken down, stopped. It has to be. It is like slavery level, Hitlery level sorts of things. And you can say, oh, they're not killing them. But I mean, is that the level that do we have to let it get to where they're killing them?
No, but that's where the bar's at. Okay,
so we have to wait until they start killing millions of people or hundreds of thousands of people. We have to wait until then.
That's when the alert is on.
Right. That's what we have to wait for. And I think that, like, it's just, you're being dishonest with yourself if you're not feeling a little. I feel some sort of way about it, and I wish there was something I could do to organize against. I really fucking, like, I would show up to like demonstrations, but the truth is there aren't really any happening right now, or I don't know of any. And how do I make those happen? Like, what do I do to make any of this stuff go away? You know?
Yeah. I don't know.
I want to do, the sad thing is like me saying I want to do something. I probably have more pull than like a lot of people, and I probably do have more people paying attention to me, but like, it doesn't help if I'm just saying like, I don't know what to do. I feel very helpless, like I don't have any thoughts about organizing against ICE, but I do think that ICE like what is happening is fascism.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The only problem is that when you look at it, like, that opinion is very small, because everybody buys into the idea of borders, and ICE is border protection to dumbos.
Yeah, to dumbos. The real dinguses.
But that's what, like, that's 80-90% of people are buying into that. Like, all the Republicans and Democrats buy into the idea that people can be illegal.
Yes.
And that sets it up so that maybe they think ICE is a little too mean. They're being a little too mean right now. But they still believe in their mission, and they still think that someone has to be that force that fucking sends pizza delivery guys back to like fucking Central America for no fucking reason.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean that's what we're up against. I don't know if what you can do besides, like, if everybody is interested in maybe picking a day that we overthrow the government, we could do that.
If you want us to pick that day, we'll do that. But I don't know.
We're like a doomsday. We could be like one of those doomsday churches.
Yeah.
We'll pick the day for revolution, and then, like, when nobody fucking shows up, we'll have to, like, pick a new one.
Here's a really galling paragraph in this Antifa story, though. And again, this is what police officers read on the toilet or in the break room before they go get, like, a commendation for beating somebody up. On August 12th in Charlottesville, Virginia, hundreds of white nationalists and white supremacist adherents held a rally to protest the pending removal of a Confederate, the appearance of, these fucking guys. The appearance of solidarity for the particular cause at hand. This is fucked up. Okay. They bring up Charlottesville. For a Confederate memorial in a public park. In the weeks leading up to the demonstration, Antifa groups online advertised the day as the Battle for Charlottesville and touted rallying cries for Antifa members to flock to Charlottesville. As the two groups converged throughout the day of the event, predictable violence and mayhem ensued, and tragically, one protester was killed when a white nationalist allegedly drove his car into a crowd of protesters. Like, why are
Antifa
we
did that.
the chaos agents when a white nationalist did the fucking violence? Like,
once again, they always are like, yeah, I mean, they just cause so much commotion. They just make these people kill them, you know? The alt left just gets the alt right so riled up that they end up killing somebody.
Yeah, boy, they really fucked this article up. Believe me, the layout for this article sucks because they messed it up. Identifying them in the crowd. To effectively identify criminal Antifa members among authentic protesters and demonstrate. What is more authentic than Antifa? They're the most authentic protesters, in my opinion. They're the ones doing something.
Real deal Holyfield.
Yeah. Officers need to know their common traits and physical identifiers. A common symbol utilized by Antifa is the anarchy A, which is composed of a capital letter A within a circle. Ooh. Officers may see this image in the form of graffiti, but more often as a body tattoo. Oh, please. Like fucking Green Day fans have the circle A tattooed on them. You can't. That's I just.
So that is that's like an 80s punk from a comic book would wear that.
Yes. They have the circle with a capital A with a circle around it.
Symbol.
Tat, baby. Another common Antifa tattoo consists of the letters ACAB, which stands for All Cops Are Bastards. The Black Flag of Anarchy also advertises the presence of criminal-minded Antifa members.
Okay.
That is not the advertisement for the Black Flag. The Black Flag means no state. Like, we're not with that.
But it also probably does mean troublemakers.
Yeah, well, not trouble. I wouldn't say troublemakers. I would say the Black Flag means you better watch your shit.
Right.
White supremacists. You better watch your fucking shit, buddy.
Antifa Claus is in town.
The flag may appear as solid black or as a red and black divided rectangle, and it is often hoisted in the air on flag sticks amid protesting crowds. Typically, Antifa employs a common mode of dress, which is part of a tactic frequently called black bloc. In the black bloc stratagem, throngs of Antifa members all dress in black clothing in an effort...
Have septum piercings?
Yeah, they do. They have a thing around their face and a septum piercing. The throngs of Antifa members all dress in black clothing in an effort to appear as a unifying assemblage, giving the appearance of solidarity for the particular cause at hand. This tactic is particularly troubling for law enforcement security forces, as no single Antifa rioter can be distinguished from another, allowing virtual anonymity while they're conducting and destructive and violent criminal acts as a group. Again, the only violence that they've brought up is 10 injuries at Berkeley, which were very likely Antifa members that were injured, and then a white nationalist running somebody over with a car in Charlottesville. That's the violence that this person has identified.
This is what Antifa is doing, I guess. They did that.
The more dangerous criminal Antifa rioters can assault police security forces. That they're calling themselves police security forces now. That sounds like fascism to me. Like we're a security force. Comes rolling in, you know. Antifa members in Seattle recently hurled canned food at police horses.
Oh, at the horses?
As well as they weren't throwing it at the horses. Get real. Most of them are vegans.
Yeah.
They were throwing them at the guys on the horses.
A horse can take a hit from a fucking can.
It's a canned food. That's funny to me. They were hurling canned foods at them.
Sir, they have creamed corn.
They brought weapons, including canned food.
They raided a local donation box.
And then they blended back into the hordes of black-clad rioters like cowards. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, when we look at what can happen if the police get their hands on you, there's no reason to like try to stand up to that. Like why would you stand up and fight the police like a man when they have a gun and a stick, and then if you touch them you get 20 extra years on a sentence?
I'm not going to take my licks on that.
Yeah. Somebody actually also posted Based Stick Man. He was a guy that was out there running around with a stick, whooping people's asses.
Yeah.
That guy wasn't an Antifa guy. Even when viewing video surveillance footage after a criminal riot and attempting to determine the problematic catalyst of the criminality, investigators can have difficulty differentiating one Antifa subject from another. Antifa adherents often also wear dark-colored bandanas tied loosely around their necks, which can be used as makeshift gas masks to rebuff chemical munitions should they be deployed by the police. These facial coverings also conceal the wearer's identity. No shit.
They also, depending on the color that they use, it tells you what sexual kink they're into.
Yes, apparently, and what gang they're in, and the different colors.
You like your genitals be electrocuted.
Yeah, criminal Antifa sects normally attempt to commingle in genuine protest demonstrations and are known to wear their black bloc monochromatic uniform underneath the outer clothes so as not to immediately stand out in the crowd.
Nice.
Officers should also scan for backpacks, which may conceal containers of broken glass.
Ooh.
Acid-filled projectiles for throwing, or cans of spray paint for vandalism. Woo. Have we thrown acid? Has Antifa thrown acid at anybody?
Have there been acid attacks?
Not an Antifa. Please tell me if you've. I think
maybe
true.
Some of the criticisms were like they burn like acid. Some of the critiques of capitalism were acidic in nature.
Acidic. That's probably true, though. We can get a little toxic when we speak.
Maybe they didn't like the rhetoric that was coming out of their mouth.
Antifa is also known to pre-stage hidden caches of improvised weaponry in the area of a planned protest or demonstration to be easily accessible by their riotous members.
I wish.
Yeah. I do too.
Just if someone would come up and be like, we got bricks and sticks and bing bangs. Everything you need to knock someone over the fucking head is around the corner.
Got a bottle of acid. We got bing bangs. We got boom booms. We got canned foods.
We got... I got a backpack full of glass. We can just sling at them. See what the fuck happens.
A backpack full of glass.
Just a JanSport backpack. One with a broken zipper, man. That just... Fuck, you don't need it anymore.
Little bits of glass are poking out of the bag as you walk around.
Stuffed full of broken glass.
Oh my God. This is not true. These everyday items used as weapons often include... Here's another list of weapons.
I love them.
This fucking guy.
I never got the chance to do many weapons. Like, just punching somebody's hard to do sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, when you got a weapon, oof, you really got to have some hatred in your heart to hit someone with a bag of glass. A Kroger bag full of glass. You just wallop someone over the fucking head. see where the cards lie.
This fucking guy probably had. What is his list of? I would love to get his complete list of Antifa weapons.
I know. He's got some good ideas. He sees everything as a fucking weapon, I feel like.
Bat with barbed wire wrapped around it. Weed whacker.
What about chain? Does he have chain on there? That was one of my favorite weapons because you could you could put it on your belt and then chains are just really fucking hard to deal with,
Yes.
Like if someone starts swinging one at you, I just have to run, like you're not gonna block a chain attack.
No. Sawzalls. You bring a sawzall to
Oh man, a fucking saw. What is that called?
Sometimes you'll see two Antifa guys with one of those double-sided saws that they use to cut down trees.
Two hipster Antifa guys in lumberjack flannel with a 2-man saw just ready to cut racists in half.
They just got all kinds of stuff, man.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, yeah, some of those, some of the furry Antifa people will bring like a diamond scepter that they try to hit people over the head with.
Sometimes Antifa will put like a donut or some treat that a police officer would like underneath a box that's being held up by a stick. They'll tie a little rope around it. When he goes in to get the donut, they'll pull the stick and knock the box on top of him.
Yeah, I went to a humiliations campaign workshop through the DSA. So, yeah, we learned about that. We learned how to put a donut on a fishing pole.
Sometimes a Nazi or sometimes an Antifa guy will push a piano off of a roof right on top of like 2 or 3 riot cops.
Sure, just flatten them. Flatten their asses out. Turn them into accordions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy what they'll do.
I mean, it's fucked up. But when you're in there though, it's just a real camaraderie. That's what it is to be a comrade.
Yeah.
To be a part of the black bloc, and you suit up and you get your weapons.
We're just sitting around coming up with weapons. Here's his list of weapons: vehicle lug nuts, golf balls, hammers.
Ooh, yes. Hammer is a good one.
You know what I bring when I'm at the Antifa march? One of those pneumatic hammers that shoot the nails right at people.
Oh no.
This is dangerous. I'm a dangerous man. Dangerous. Golf balls.
I just bring a medieval mace.
Oh. Broken glass again, and smileys. Which are bandanas looped through padlocks that violently swung at enemies.
That's a good one. Thank you.
That's called the Antifa ball and chain. That's the Antifa mace.
That's the mace. Yeah,
sometimes
that's the mace I was talking about.
When the cops show up, like the mounted police show up, I'll show up on another horse with one of those long jousting sticks and knock them right off their damn horses.
They don't bring jousting equipment anymore.
No,
it's a total flaw in their protection.
Just
show up on a mounted horse with your stick and you're ready to knock the police down.
Yeah,
it's that easy.
Brandon in the chat room said a bunch of marbles. Antifa will show up and just pour marbles on the ground, and the police will comically slip and fall.
I keep a Crown Royal bag full of dollar store marbles on my hip to unleash whenever the cops are chasing after me. That's one of my Antifa tactics.
Yeah.
Hashtag Antifa tactics.
Yeah, I have a bunch of Antifa tactics that I've come up. A bunch of weapons.
What other weapons are there?
What other weapons? I mean, I listed these weapons, but thumbtacks probably.
Oh, thumbtacks.
They probably throw some thumbtacks on the ground like you're in a wrestling match. Sometimes Antifa will show up and put a Hell in a Cell cage around all the cops and just beat them up inside of it.
Yep.
It's nuts what the Antifa's up to, man. Dealing with Antifa is our next part here. It's important to understand that not every public protest or demonstration will attract an element of Antifa.
Okay.
The types of demonstrations most commonly attended by Antifa groups include those against environmentally harmful practices, those against gentrification, anti-police rallies, right-wing political events, and most recently those contesting the removal of Confederate war monuments. When you must deal with Antifa, a few key focal points are crucial.
Well, I feel like that's wrong because I don't know, the scope that they have is something that I wish was more commonplace. it really is only like whenever fascism presents itself, here comes anti-fascism, like to confront it right in the face, right?
Right. Yeah, but I think I think like
environmentalists.
if I would go
they're
more,
talking about Standing Rock. There's no Antifa. I mean,
yeah, there was
I'm sure there's people that were there, but
people with Antifa tendencies. You know,
Sure.
Antifa isn't a group of like
I know.
a group of people. It's like
But
a
I think
tactic.
there was
or
no
a-
black bloc at fucking
no.
Standing Rock.
Well, I think there was Black Bloc at Standing Rock.
Really?
Actually, yeah, I'm
I didn't know
almost
that.
positive. That's who they were shooting with hoses and shit.
Oh.
You know how they be. But I do, when you do go through these protests, it's like, how does a cop read this magazine and feel like they're on the good guy's side when you list things like environmentally, like, so you're here to defend fracking? Like, we're here to protest against people causing earthquakes and fucking turning people's like water into gasoline, and you're like, these are the bad guys. These bad guys show up and they're all fucking fired up and mad and emotional because we're taking all the public land and strip mining it.
What did they call it? They called us parasitic, and what?
Yes, parasitic. We are very parasitic, but
Because we don't want them to do the fracking water, or to do what? Oh, the oil pipeline.
Yeah.
The oil pipelines.
yeah. Oh, yeah, we hate those.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things they love, apparently. First, now we're going to our few key focal points, folks. First, know that you will be recorded. First of all, when are you in public and not being recorded? Like, you're
Yeah.
always fucking being recorded. I watch Bosch. Them motherfuckers, Bosch will go to every business in town and be like, let me get that video footage of what was happening outside to solve whatever crime he's trying to solve. Usually bad crimes is what he's solving. He's Bosch. He's a very reasonable guy. But what I'm saying is, you're always being recorded in public. I don't get this idea that Antifa's doing the recording. They're kind of recording back. They're kind of, because the police obviously aren't going to give you access to the surveillance videos. Sure. So we have to record back. We have to document our experience out there too. Or that is what gets, it's a one-sided thing. When somebody goes to court, when the J20 protesters go to court, their word carries so much less weight than the word of the police people. And so if there wasn't video, if there wasn't any way to tell like what actually happened, they probably would have gotten in a lot more trouble.
Yeah,
you know?
That's why I got the 128 gigabyte iPhone, so that way I could have plenty of police recording video space.
Yeah, I every time I see cops now in public, I'm like, I'm gonna go up there with the camera here in a minute.
Hit him with the cam.
It feels like I feel like I should. I always like, I love the videos when people catch the cops with the camera, because the cops are always like, stop recording, and then the person on the other side is like, I don't have to stop recording. I'm allowed to record if I want to, and I love it. I want to be that voice on the other side of the camera.
Yeah, do your job, man.
Yeah. Members often surreptitiously video and audio record their interactions with police officers in an effort to capture some demonizing interchange or illegal commands by an officer. When speaking with any criminal-minded anarchic Antifa adherent, always assume that you are being recorded, and know that even your most benign statements may be edited and manipulated against you. Bullshit! No! That's not happening. That's what the FBI does, man. That's what like a J. Edgar Hoover did. Fucking who is editing these videos to make the cops say racist shit? They just say it. They just fucking say it. They just do illegal stuff. If the cops stop doing illegal shit, then recording them wouldn't fucking mean anything.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
If you ain't doing anything wrong, then it doesn't matter if you get recorded. That's how I feel about cops, not me. Don't fucking record me. Yeah. Well, really, truthfully, they're like, I mean, they're technically public servants. We should be allowed to record them.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
I'm with him.
They are public servants. I'm not a public servant.
We need
I'm
to know
a
how that
private
shit went
citizen.
down. We need to know how that shit went down.
Yeah. And the more tactically minded Antifa members will often bait officers into making emotionally charged statements
Where?
with confrontational and cantankerous interactions that they will capture on video.
Where's this happening? What Facebook group is this in?
Well, it's not the cop's fault, right? It's not the cop's fault that he said something like that. It's the guy recording the cop saying that. That person's the problem.
Right.
Here. Cops should be allowed to say cantankerous things if they want to. That cops should be allowed to say bad things without fucking being recorded is the argument in here. Antifa subjects will often be students of search and seizure laws, so agencies must ensure that offers clearly understand Fourth Amendment dictums. Law enforcement officers monitoring these volatile protests should be experts in their local city ordinances, which regulate demonstrators, limitations, and rules. For instance, in many metropolitan areas, local ordinances dictate the maximum size of protest signs, the use of amplified sound, and the wearing of facial coverings during demonstrations. Jesus, fuck, that makes me mad. Like, they're like, fucking take a tape measure to their fucking protest signs and see if that's something you can arrest them for.
Yeah,
because that's what they're really saying. They're saying, know all the laws and all the bullshit things and in that area.
Right, so you can nitpick them.
Yeah, so you can nitpick them and arrest them and cause problems. If you're aware of such ordinances in your jurisdiction, you can use them to legally remove anarchic Antifa groups.
When?
From the situation on minor infractions. Such a simple proactive measure can often turn the tide back in the direction of civility and order. First of all, when you say civility, you mean turn it into the directions where racists are giving speeches.
Can just go to the public square and yell their racist opinions to everybody.
That's the civility.
That's the civil thing, in your opinion.
Perhaps most importantly, police agencies should plan ahead. Agencies should know who may attend these unstable protests so they can somewhat predict challenges before they present themselves. Written tactical plans should dictate law enforcement security force deployment, police video surveillance plans, contingency procedures, and plans for medical emergencies should they arise. Delineated protest zones and separate cordoned areas for counter-protesters should be clearly defined. Which, by the way, that's something that, like, causes a lot of the problem. When you come up with these areas that you're allowed to be in and in areas that you're not allowed to be in, and then you don't fucking tell people these lines, because I've been to a ton of fucking protests now, and a lot of times the police just say, you're not allowed to stand there, you have to stand there, you're not allowed to stand there, you have to stand there, and like they're just pushing you around the whole time. They don't really have these, they kind of decide at that moment where you're allowed to stand and where you're allowed to be, and oftentimes they'll say you can't stand on the sidewalk. Oh, you can't stand in the street. Oh, you can't stand in the grass. And it's like, what they really want you to do is be standing at home at your fucking house, not doing nothing.
No, that's exactly right. That's how I handle my kid.
Yeah.
Like, I might take my kid somewhere where I'm like, you're not going to fucking be playing around here. Like, I just immediately will shut any of the tomfoolery down, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
They do the same thing. We, when the airport protest here, they were so adamant about people not getting near the counters. I don't know why, but they were like, you can't go past this bicycle. And there was people like spilling over, you know, like,
because there's too many of them, because some fascist shit is happening at the airports.
And the police were just so adamant about keeping the line, you know?
Yeah, because
that was their authority, right?
Once you pass that line, no matter what you're doing, because the airport protest was super, like, it wasn't an aggressive protest. It was more like kind of a peaceful sort of thing. It was a lot of people like at the airport. There weren't. I don't remember you saying there were clashes.
Well, it was a surprise turn because it wasn't supposed to go indoors.
Yeah,
they took over the parking lots and then they were like, "Well, let's just go inside."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know,
So the cops, I think, were surprised by that.
Protesters and counter-protesters both have the right to demonstrate and voice their beliefs, but agencies should be cautioned about placing these groups too closely to one another. It's important to remember that while the First Amendment protects free speech and assembly, it also mandates that the assembly be peaceable. Not all speech and not every public assembly is constitutionally protected. Public speech that is likely to incite imminent violent reaction is not legal. That's white nationalism. That's
Right.
these speeches. That's these race. Milo was inciting violence. It's not the people who were fighting back's fault or trying to prevent him from, again, calling ICE on fucking students of this school. You know,
Yeah.
Nobody wants that. Nobody at the school is trying to get ICE at the school to take their classmates out. I went to fucking college, man. I know what that campus is like. And these right-wing people fucking show up. They're an extreme minority of people on campus. Obviously, that's why your grandma hates college. But they're like, and we're not going to gear our halls of education for these people. These fucking dumb knuckle dragger people, man.
Yeah.
You know? Here's our last paragraph. Subversive, criminally intentioned Antifa is a new form of challenge for American police departments. When monitoring and providing security for the appropriate legal exercise of citizens' First Amendment right to free speech and peaceable assembly during protests and demonstrations, but with exhaustive pre-planning and adequate event-specific training prior to volatile public demonstrations, officers can safely and competently face and manage encounters with Antifa. And then at the end of the article, it's a target.
Nice.
Delineate I'm going to show the camera the target here.
Well, we use the anvil in the Street Fight zine to let you know that the article is over, but they use a target.
They use a target to let you know because everybody's
Over
a target
and out.
for the police. Oh man, so that was the Police magazine. We'll probably dip back into this at another time.
Well,
but,
now I understand why they share the memes that they do a little bit more, maybe.
Well, this is really, that's true. Like, I watched the Wyatt Cenac show on HBO. It's actually like really good. I highly recommend it. And one of our former guests, his partner, actually did research for the first episode, Aaron Taub. So his partner did some stuff. He did a thing that talked about like the warrior cop mentality and the types of things that, like, training courses. Like, it's this guy that kind of travels around the country and gives training courses where, like, he teaches cops like danger is around every corner. You're going to die and you have to take control of every situation immediately. And like things like that and things like this amp these fucking idiots up. You know, it's the same way when you read like about ICE like raiding a farm in Ohio and locking up a bunch of locking up like 100 workers. Like, that fucking feeling you get inside of you, that's what the police feel, and they have guns and they can act on it anytime they want, you know?
Yeah, I just don't know. Is it just they can't understand where Antifa is coming from? Does that like break apart their entire identity, right? Because Antifa's view of the world like is that they're the bad people. They can't acknowledge that. Is that what it is?
I talked about this on a third show recently that I did, and like I think this is something that we can cover for like the end of this show. But like I was talking about how like when you have left politics, it's kind of like for me, it was sort of a path of least resistance. So my beliefs, I don't have to justify my beliefs to people. I shouldn't, like, when I say that like racism is bad, nobody should be treated differently because of the color of their skin. When I say that everybody should get to eat, everybody should be able to see a doctor, everybody should have a home and be taken care of, that's like the right opinion. There's like no, but what I'm saying is like, that's the thing that everybody, so I believe that all my life. Okay. I believe these things all my life. But when I was a libertarian, I had to add a bunch of reasons why those things can't happen and like why they don't happen and how if we did capitalism right, then that would work. When I was a liberal or like a neoliberal, it was like these things can't happen because there's all these forces aligned against it that like you have to do the centrist, whatever the centrist like solution is. And then once you become a leftist, it basically you those possibilities, like you then start trying to figure out how these things happen, right? And like it takes a lot of walls of complication out of those things. Because you always, when you were conservative, at times, when you were more conservative at times in your life, you probably still believe that everybody should get to eat and everybody should have a home, but you came up with your ideas of why other people don't have homes, or your ideas of like
some justified welfare where people are only on it for like a few weeks and then they get a job and pick themselves up by their bootstraps.
Right. And you just added all this complication to that stuff. It's always like, well, as this person, as a cop, I think everybody should get to have a house too, but they shouldn't take any of my money to make that happen. And I should be able to, you know what I mean? Like they like,
or that people that use drugs, like, don't get that.
Yeah, and like these people that, yes, absolutely. And these white supremacists, there's a First Amendment. These white supremacists should be allowed to speak. And then you're like, well, but what they say is bad and we need to come out and counter protest that. And they're like, well, you're just causing problems then.
Yeah.
You're
troublemakers.
Yeah, you're just troublemakers. Where like for us, it seems like such a fucking regular thing to... It seems like it's
racism.
Just a thing. Yeah, if racism's happening,
against fascism.
Yeah, I mean, we're raised to question. I feel like when you're a kid, you really do question it a lot more. Like when you learned about slavery, and you sat in that classroom, and you're like, how did those people have slaves?
Why would
like
they do
how
that?
did why would they
you
do
ever
that?
Treat someone like that.
And then as you got older, they would teach you justifications for those slavery in sort of a way, like, oh, well, it happened because of this, it happened because of this, and you were like, oh, okay. And then you would start to you then neutralize that thing in your mind and move on, where like now
it's like the ICE thing.
Yeah. I
mean, it's not exactly the same, but it's
close.
Like it's just where, you know, the rest of the world is kind of turning away from the injustice. Like we can all see it, and then all they do is call me and you like a fucking bummer for bringing it up.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, always.
But it's there.
I love to be the bummer though that brings up the fact that like there's a Gestapo running around rounding people up.
Yeah, or like, you know, I mean, illegal labor is how we get all of our produce type thing. You know, like there is a lot more to it than that. So I don't know. It's just the world just keeps rolling on. Like that's what I feel. I just feel helpless. I don't know. I feel like I don't. It's like the world's just going to keep doing that, and people are okay with it.
Right. I mean, if you're a listener and like especially Sunday, this call-in show Sunday, like we'll be in there at around 11, and if you want to call in and suggest things that we could try, it's a fucking helpless situation all around. I think a lot of people that listen to the show like have ideas, and if we like what sorts of things can we like realistically make happen so that we're doing something, you know? I don't know what that is.
Dude, nobody gives a fuck. I mean, the rest of the world really doesn't give a fuck.
I know. Well, I think what happens a lot of times with protests, though, I really do, is the more you do them, the more people show up, and the more press it gets, the more people come.
Sure.
And it might just be a thing where it's like, it's fucking warm now. Let's keep increasing actions for things. But again, with like Donald Trump, there's that fatigue of like, God damn, for the first like 6 months, it seemed like everything was going right, like not right, like everything was going fucking bad, but like we were showing up and like making changes. Like some of those like airport laws, like some of that stuff stopped happening because we were showing up in public. He's even more vulnerable now. He's, because he's got to run for re-election now.
Yeah.
He did just pardon somebody. Did you see that today?
No.
Yeah. Somebody got pardoned for cocaine. But,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, somebody in the thing said, it's warm now, let's go punch Nazis. And it's like, they're not meeting anymore.
Well,
and that's the other thing.
No, they did. They do.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Well, people show up, right?
Yeah.
That's what we need to. I mean, obviously, we should be showing up to counter those protests, but we should also probably be organizing our own gimmicks, And it's not Dinesh D'Souza that he pardoned. He did pardon him, too.
He pardoned?
But Kim Kardashian went to the. We'll do one more story. How's that sound?
Oh, I got to pee so fucking bad.
Go pee. I'll talk to these listeners before we. Okay. Well, no, let's do the story. Now we've said we're going to do the story. We have to do the story.
Piss.
Brett's going to pee. I'll talk to y'all. But yeah, he pardoned somebody today. I got the story here. I'm so bad at like having it up because I didn't do any stuff. I read out of a goddamn magazine all night, So but I wanted to read this story. Alice Johnson was pardoned. I saw prison culture getting screamed at by conservatives for saying, or by liberals for saying, Obama could have pardoned her, but he didn't. So here we go. President Donald Trump has commuted the sentence of Alice Marie Johnson, a first-time nonviolent drug offender, a week after Kim Kardashian West pleaded her case during an Oval Office meeting with Trump. Johnson has already served 21 years of a life sentence after she was convicted on charges of conspiracy to possess cocaine and attempted possession of cocaine, according to the nonprofit Can Do, which advocates clemency for nonviolent drug offenders. She was released from prison later Wednesday. Miss Johnson has accepted responsibility for her past behavior and has been a model prisoner over the past 2 decades. Despite receiving a life sentence, Alice worked hard to rehabilitate herself in prison and act as a mentor to her fellow inmates, the White House said in a statement Wednesday afternoon. While this administration will always be very tough on crime, it believes that those who have paid their debt to society and worked hard to better themselves while in prison deserve a second chance, the statement added. And then Kim Kardashian posted best news ever. The woman got out of jail. And, of course, this fucking government has to. But, of course, this government has to say we did the right thing anyway. So he's pardoned a few people.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, she was in jail for 2 decades for cocaine, first time offense. She said, I watched a video about her, and she was it said, I would like to thank President Trump for his time this afternoon. It's our hope that the president will, okay, yes, that's just the story about it. But yeah, Barack Obama did not intervene in the case during his 8 years in office because the Justice Department recommended denying Johnson's request for commutation. So, he could have, don't ever think this drug war is going to end. Neither one of the parties are looking to do it.
Yeah, that sucks ass.
But I'm really glad that that
good.
commutation happened. Hopefully this happens more. I think, the shitty thing is like I don't know, but maybe you get a Bernie guy in there and he can commute a shitload of them at the same time. That would be great. But again, we've wasted 21 years of this woman's life for selling cocaine.
I know. The thing about that is incredible.
Yeah.
For something that I've done.
Yeah. Yep. So that story, that's a positive story, but also a negative story. Brett, talk us out of here.
All right. We are Street Fight Radio. Thank you for tuning in. We are live every single Sunday night at 11 p.m. on WCRS in Columbus, Ohio. If you want to watch the basement show that we just did, you can do that on patreon.com. That's a website where you can support the people that do the entertainment that you like Street Fight Radio. For $1 a month, we offer bonus shows. That's in addition to the 2 shows that you get every single week. For $3 a month, you get access to our digital zine. And for $8 a month, we'll mail it to your house. It's that simple. Head over to patreon.com/StreetFightRadio to check it out. The other way we raise money for this show is by selling different powders that will fuck your brain up, like kratom and CBD. So Patreon's told us we couldn't do kratom and CBD through their platform anymore, so we've expanded the offerings over at store.streetfightradio.com. We got red, we got yellow, we got green, we got white. All of the colors of the kratom rainbow are available in up to quarter kilos right now. We're going to try to get more, but if you want to get kratom, we have it at a very competitive price. Check them out. Check it out. Store.streetfightradio.com. We also have CBD directly from Michigan. The good stuff, 99% pure isolate. It's only $35 over there. We got vape juice. We got body butter, facial moisturizers, gummies. We got flavor ices on the way. So there's a lot coming down the pipeline in that arena. We love CBD. I use it every single day. So does Brian. So give it a shot. Thank you for supporting us and what we do. You can find us on all the social media platforms. We're at StreetFightWCRS. We're going to get that Twitch going soon. You can find Brian on Twitter. He's at MurderBrian. You can find me. I'm at Brett Payne, BRETTPAIN, on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. The name is the same. Peace.
Bye, guys. Thank you for... guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Thanks for coming into the room with us. We love you. Baby, ain't it something how I need my glycerin?